Hello everyone. In previous video, we have seen about synchronous reluctance motor. So we discussed about construction of synchronous reluctance motor. In that, we have seen constructional details of stator as well as constructional details of rotor of sorry rotor of synchronous reluctance motor. So in that segmental rotor type, then axially laminated rotor and radially laminated rotor. So in that video, we have not seen one type of rotor construction. So in this video, we will continue that one. So another type of rotor construction, which is also a radially laminated type, and it is shown in the figure. You can see in addition to flux barriers, the rotor laminations have slots on their outer periphery. The laminations are assembled to the required length and then put into aluminum bath at high pressure. The aluminum fills in the slots and spaces provided for flux barriers. The rotor has a cast aluminum starting cage similar to the cage winding of induction motor. The synchronous reluctance motor with this type of rotor is self-starting. In another type of rotor construction, so here line start synchronous reluctance motor rotor. Here you can see it is also a radially laminated type rotor construction. In addition to flux barriers, rotor laminations have slots on outer periphery. Here you can see slots on their outer periphery. The laminations are assembled to required length and then put into aluminum bath sorry at high pressure. And this type of air flux barriers you can see and rotor laminations. This type of rotor is self-starting. Next, in another type of rotor construction, that is cold rolled grain oriented steel is used. Here CRGO, okay, cold rolled, G for grain, and oriented, okay, cold rolled grain oriented, that is CRGO. So in this type of rotor construction, cold rolled grain oriented, that is CRGO steel is used. The core is first made by rolling CRGO steel. This core is then cut into 4 pieces. Okay, here you can see this is rolled CRGO steel, and this core is then cut into 4 pieces. So you can see the core is cut into 4 pieces. In figure B, you can see there are 4 pieces 1, 2, 3, and 4. These four pieces are then inverted, okay, inverted to get the shape as shown in the figure C. So here you can see these four pieces are inverted. Okay, inverted means the inner section you can see that is as a outer part in figure C, and outer part is as a inner part. So four pieces are inverted to get shape as shown in this figure. Okay, these inverted pieces are held together by appropriate mechanical method. The assembled core is then put into aluminum bath at high pressure. The space between the CRGO steel is filled with aluminum, forming the flux barriers. The core is then taken out. CRGO has high permeability in the direction of rolling, so the flux is provided with high permeability path along the D axis, that is direct axis, and has low permeability path along the Q axis, that is quadrature axis. In this construction, the difference between the direct axis synchronous inductance and the quadrature axis synchronous inductance is larger, and higher torque is developed compared with that of other types of rotors. Okay, this is about rotor construction of synchronous reluctance motor. So this part was not covered in last video. Now next point is working of synchronous reluctance motor. So working of synchronous reluctance motor. When a three-phase synchronous reluctance motor is supplied with three-phase balanced voltage, the balanced three-phase current flows through the windings. This three-phase current establishes sinusoidally varying magnetic fields. As shown in the figure, you can see on the screen. These fields have an angular displacement of 120 degree in space and phase from each other. Here you can see three waveforms for three phases are there. Here you can see FR, FY and FB. Okay. So magnetic fields for three phases. And these three waveforms are displaced 120 degree, displaced by 120 degree. You can see for first two waveforms here displacement is 120 degree, and after that for, for next waveform it is same. So we can see for each waveform it is 120 degree. The stator MMF waveforms are shown in the figure, and this stator MMF are given by FR equals to Fm sin theta. Okay, Fr equals to Fm sin theta, and for Fy we can write Fm sin, instead of theta it will be theta minus 2 pi by 3. Okay, so here theta minus 2 pi by 3 is written. So 2 pi by 3 is nothing but minus 120 degree, because the waveforms are base plus by 120 degree. And for B phase we can write as a Fb is equal to Fm sin theta minus 4 pi by 3. So it is nothing but minus 240 degree. Why? Because for R and B phase the difference is minus 240 degree, or we can write theta plus 2 pi by 3. Assume that the positive directions of MMF as shown in the figure A. So here figure A is given for positive direction of MMF. Consider the MMF at theta equals to 0. The phase MMF and resultant MMF are shown in the figure B. At theta equals to 60 degree, theta equals to 120 degree, and theta equals to 180 degree. The phasor diagrams are as shown in the figure C, D and figure E. In figure B and E, so here in figure B, so in figure B and figure E, the phase MMF have equal magnitude of root 3 by 2 Fm, and their resultant MMF is 1.5 Fm for figure B and figure E. It can also be observed from these figures that the resultant MMF is rotating. When MMF wave completes 180 degree, the resultant MMF moves by 180 degree in space. The three-phase MMF produces a resultant MMF of magnitude 1.5 Fm, which rotates in space at constant speed. If the supply frequency is F and winding is done for P poles, the rotating field has a speed of 2F upon P RPS, okay, rotations per second. This speed is also called as a synchronous speed. The resultant magnetic fields can be represented by two stator poles, that is NS and SS. You can see in the figure, which rotates at synchronous speed. Let the position of the rotor as shown in the figure. In figure A, stator poles induce opposite poles on the rotor, that is S pole on rotor part 1 and N pole on the rotor part 2. So the rotor is attracted by stator poles and hence it moves in clockwise direction. The rotor rotates by 60° when revolving field completes 60° as shown in figure B. At this instant also the magnet poles are induced on the rotor and a magnetic attractive force makes the rotor move in the same direction, that is clockwise. And figure C shows another situation. The rotor moves together with rotating magnetic field at the same speed in the same direction. The revolving magnetic field exerts reluctance torque on the rotor to align its projecting pole axis with revolving magnetic field axis to have minimum reluctance. If the reluctance torque is sufficient to start the motor plus load, the rotor will run in step with rotating magnetic field. The synchronous reluctance motor starts as an induction motor and the reluctance torque pulls the rotor in synchronism with the stator field. This is all about the working of synchronous reluctance motor. In next video, we will see the phasor diagram and torque equation of synchronous reluctance motor. Thank you for watching this video.